All right, let's get this dog and pony show going. And let me double check my volume real quick. Let me double check my volume real quick. All right, we're good. We're good. All right. Hey, everybody. Anybody out there listening? I'm here. I'm live streaming as usual. And get my glove of power on. You know. All right. I've sent invites out to everybody. We'll see who joins. Hey.
What's up, man?
Hold on a second. I just realized my headphone jack was unplugged. So hold on. All right, there we go. Now I can hear you. Stop. I know.
Dude, really?
I know. At least this time when I started the live stream, I wasn't on mute, so.
But your headphones weren't in.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, hold on a second. I have got a really quick video I'm saving. I just made a really quick video that I'm going to post after the show that that kind of like, it's like a 30-second blurb about Friday's show. And of course, it's saving as slow as humanly possible because I want to share it. And all it does is just says everything. It's nothing fancy. But by God, it's taking forever. Our Wednesday shows are usually we get a lot of views on Monday and a lot of views on Friday, but the Wednesday show, it's kind of in between, It's really weird. I don't know why. I guess nobody likes us on Wednesdays. But see, here's the good thing. We could talk about whatever we want to talk about right now because nobody's watching, And there's a good chance they're not going to watch it later. So get my camera in the right place. And okay, here we go. Cool. I got it up now. I'm going to.
Let me guess. You want to talk about Legos?
No, but we can. I mean, if you really want to.
No.
All right, hold on a second.
No.
Yeah, I went by Walmart right before I picked up Mike from work, and I was hoping that they got in the new Legos, and they did not. So I'll have to go back to Target tomorrow. And all right, I'm gonna share this screen with you, and I'm gonna show you this quick video. Okay?
Oh God!
You don't have to watch, but I'm gonna show it. You ready?
No twist.
You didn't see it, but I was dancing. So I'll upload that video later and put it out there.
Is it a contest?
No, it's not a contest. Well, I mean...
Okay, part of what pulls the people into the other shows is it's a contest.
Well, we may do like voting afterwards, but I don't want it to... I don't want people...
Goodness. Well, then it's not going to work.
Well, we'll see. I know you have years and years of experience with this thing, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Actually, there probably needs to be some type of poll afterwards, doesn't there?
It's a part of what makes the other shows work is the contest.
Yeah. But there's no other than you get, other than you had the most votes, there really isn't any other award,
Well, on the other show, somebody wins something.
Well, somebody in the audience wins something.
Exactly.
So, we may have to work something out. I have no problem giving away my drawing, I know Mike Miller does that on the Drawn in Corner, the regular edition. He'll say, hey, if you super chat me and you get it, I will randomly pick a super chatter and I'll send you mine, even if it's not the winner. I was watching one of the Universal Monster one that they did last, and somebody super chatted the message as, any chance we could get the winning piece and not yours? It's like, oh, damn. Oh, they're just so brutal to him. But, getting out my sketchbook.
I love the auction thing, man. That would be cool. Like I'd like to have an auction show. I just don't have the audience for an auction show. And I don't mean just me. I mean other comic skaters.
Right. Well, I haven't watched any of the auction videos, so I don't know what all they're doing there. But
they're just auctioning off Mike's work.
Yeah.
It's like, I just think that would be a cool show to have, to do like maybe twice a month. Not every, like twice a month. Get several artists, comic skate artists, on one channel, and it's like, there's going to be stuff that's like $50. There's going to be stuff that's like $200. But like whatever your budget for original art, you probably could get something.
How many pieces are they actually putting up? Do you know?
He usually sells 2 or 3 or 4 pages.
Okay.
Like Injustice. And he sweetens the pot with adding commissions, and some of them get up to like $500, $600, $700.
Oh, that's cool.
It is cool. I like it. I liked watching it. It was really good.
Yeah, but then there's no guarantee that the person's going to pay either, right?
True. But don't. And you're not going to be. You're going to be having to start a new account to get on Mike Miller's channel.
Yeah. All right. Well, actually, since Avery brought it up, check out the new Legos. These are the new minifigs, the minifig set that just came out for the Lego 2 movie. And Mike and I, of course, have to get them all.
Gross.
Yeah. And I got one that I think you'll like. Did you watch my video where I showed off the 5 that I got?
Of course not. I don't watch your video.
Giraffe Man. Is that not adorable?
No, I don't know. No.
It's Giraffe Man. It's awesome.
No.
He looks like the guy from Toys R Us.
Well, only if the guys from Toys R Us had a face in the middle of his neck.
Well, when they wore the costume and walked around the store, they did.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. But I also got the Scarecrow from Wizard of Oz. I got the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz. Adorable. And then I got 2 of the rock singers. I got one, the pink-haired one, and the blue-haired one. The blue-haired one, you can see by her face, she's like, screaming. So, yeah. All right, looks like we lost a watcher, so...
Yeah, because
we're not going to talk about Legos no more. Hey, you're the one that brought them up, man. I didn't bring them up. You brought them up.
I didn't tell you to show Legos. It's a channel killer, and you know it.
Hey, Kodiak, how's it going, man? He went on mute.
I got a new microphone, so I'm working with it.
Oh, okay. You sound good. You sound good so far. We were just talking about.
Why, thank you. You don't sound so bad yourself.
Oh, yeah. we were just talking about Friday's show, and I created like a little 30-second clip thing that does it, and I just showed it off. Here, I'll show it to you. Let me know what you think, okay? Since you're here.
All right, I'm game.
You're my captive audience, so you just have to go with it.
I'm your slave.
Yeah.
Shut up, Avery.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, well.
But you thought it.
All right, hold on a second. Focus on me. What the heck? I'm not titling it. Okay. All right, here you go. Here it is. It's real simple.
That works. So,
Yep.
so can I do a villain that looks like Hero?
You could if you wanted to. Hey, Cross Comics, how's it going? He says, we need the hero you can provide. That's right. That's right. Only I can provide. Yeah, I figured most people would want to draw villains, you know? That's why I said be either hero or villain. But I already have mine planned, so I know exactly what I'm drawing, so. Or at least I have an idea of what I have planned. I don't know exactly until I actually start putting pencil to paper, but in the meantime, we are going to start by adding a drawing to my Sketch-A-Day sketchbook.
Yeah,
which I hope everybody out there has been following along, because I've been having a lot of fun with these. So.
Yeah, in the meantime.
In the meantime. Actually, this character, the Tigress character, was an inspiration for what I'm going to draw tonight. So, Cross says, so can I do my hero that looks like a villain? And what time? 7:30 Eastern time. 7:30 Eastern time. You're on my list of people to send the invite to, so don't worry. It's just like this normal time. It's going to take the place of my normal Hero Hour show at 7:30 on Friday.
Once I get through this job and I get my camera and all hooked up, I'm going to do a contest to give away some free art.
Oh yeah?
Yep, to push my channel.
Well, that sounds cool. That sounds cool.
That's pretty cool.
Give away some of this stuff I can't get rid of.
Well, hey, you brought up the idea of doing some type of contest when we reach a certain level in subscribers.
Yeah.
Let me see. Where exactly am I? Hold on.
Yeah, like I want to do to like I only have 54 subs.
Yeah.
So I'll do like to 100, and then at 100, one of the new subs gets an original. A sub gets an original piece.
Yeah. I'm at.
I'm gonna stuff the valid box with my name.
I'm at 276 right now. I think what I want to do. Well, Avery actually gave me this idea. He said, "Do one of the thick board. What's the name of that board?
The illustration board.
The illustration board. Do a drawing on the illustration board. It's a 9x12 illustration board, and then give it to Avery and let him paint it. Let him go full on watercolor, whatever he wants to do to it. By the time we get to that point, hopefully he'll have all his set up, so he'll be able to make videos of him doing that which would be awesome. But give that away when we reach a certain level of subscribers. So in order to encourage people to, hey, check out this guy's channel, become a subscriber, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you can probably get other people to help promote it more because you're giving it something away.
You know, if I would have thought about it, I super chatted EVS earlier. And if I would have thought about it, I'm sorry. I didn't think about it.
You don't have to super chat to promote me, dude.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of drawing in the corner, but that too, I will.
Or to promote, yeah, to promote us. You don't have to do that.
No, I know I don't have to, but I want to.
It. Yeah, we've seen you do it before.
Yeah, and
we appreciate it.
Yeah. Well,
Rick asked, "Did you do a 250 giveaway?" It wasn't until after the 250 did Avery mention it. It's like, oh well, maybe we should do something. So, yeah, I'm a little slow on the uptake. So, uptake. Did I say Tate? God, where am I going with my words today?
I don't know, dude.
He's talking about his taint. I don't know. And there it goes. Plump, plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. The show ended the gutter.
Yeah, I'm going to have to explain that one to somebody somewhere along the line.
Yeah. Oh, the plop, plop, fizz, fizz?
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's old school.
No, what a taint is.
So.
We all know what a taint is. Robbie Rodriguez taught us that.
Yeah, but somewhere along the line, somebody's going to ask me to explain that.
What's a taint?
Where's Todd? Todd's like, explain that to me, please.
No, Andrew, please explain in detail.
Did anybody catch EVS's stream today?
I caught part of it. I missed most of it because Andrew was actually on his lunch break helping me. I had another pipe burst, and it's the one that goes to the spigot outside. But the water from the city comes up goes to that.
Yeah, luckily it wasn't.
Spigot.
Yeah,
So
luckily it wasn't the main.
If I flip the main switch that shuts off that spigot, it also cuts off water to my house.
Yeah.
So I couldn't just shut it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to deal with that this afternoon.
Yeah. Pain in the butt.
Yeah, I got back to work and I was shocked. EVS, they were still live streaming.
Yeah.
It was a pretty long one today. Yeah.
I caught some of it, and it was really. I usually enjoy Ethan's streams.
Yeah, he's got
usually
a good talking
They're
voice.
usually pretty good.
Yeah. So he mentioned a name today. He mentioned a name, Richard Pace.
Yes,
that's got a tool bag.
And I'm in the middle of a conversation with this dude right now. Seriously. I mean, I'm saving all the things, and like I just messaged EVS back, like, because he said he stabbed him in the back. I'm like, I want to know because I don't want to get involved with this dude.
Why are you talking to this dude? Why are you talking to Richard Pace?
Well, I've been following him. I thought he was I didn't know he was a professional. I didn't know he was.
Oh yes, and he's extremely anti-Comicsgate, and he talks mad trash about Ethan.
Right. Well, I didn't know that, but I what started it, me talking to him, because he's got good art. Okay, so there you go. We start that. I'm a fan of his art. I've made it a pledge not to, if I have to ignore them, but they have good art. You know, there's this line that I want to draw and not be like them, where anyways, I still want to enjoy art.
You can always enjoy his art, just not.
Right, and I always believe in redemption. That's the whole point of, to me, Comicsgate is you can work through your stuff. You know.
No, he's been a pain to a lot of Comicsgaters.
Right. Well, and I could see that he wanted to be a pain to me, and the way I struck up the conversation, he was kind of humble about it, and we're in a deep conversation. We're in the middle of, and
yeah, I would just end it because it'll come
probably.
He'll use it against you at some point.
Probably. But he asked me a question, and I wanted
this is where it starts.
No, he said, and I answered it best to, like I said, I can only answer from my viewpoint. But he said, what has Comicsgate done for the comic community? And an unbiased thing, I just wanted to forget him, because that is what it is. That's he was humble, he was nice to me, so that's the only merit I can grant that. You know what I mean? I can't he knows that I'm involved with Comicsgate. I talked to him thoroughly. He asked me questions, I asked him questions. There was no vile talk back and forth, so I can only judge it on that. I can be careful, but I can only judge it upon that. But the question still stands, is what has, I know how I answered it, but I'm curious how you guys are going to answer it. What has Comicsgate done for the comic book industry, done for comic books in general?
Nothing.
Yet, right?
Well, it's given fans a better way, it's given fans more access to the creators that they like, the creators involved.
That was my answer.
It's given them a way to bypass all the political nonsense that we see in mainstream comics.
Mm-hmm.
It's an opportunity to find good comics, good story, good art without having an agenda forced upon you.
Yeah.
It's also given. I personally like the aspect of being able to touch base and talk to and see creators actually doing their thing and not having them attack you because you don't like their stuff. If I went online right now and I saw something that Ethan Van Sciver did, I said, Ethan, that looks like a piece of shit. He's not going to go attack. He'd probably say, okay. Or he could say nothing at all, but he's not going to attack me and spend weeks and weeks and weeks like somebody like Gail Simone would do if you told her that you didn't like her stuff,
A word comes to mind, petty.
Yeah, that too. So, but it's begun, and it's going to end up doing a lot for the comic industry. Just
Right.
because
It's a completely separate industry. It's
Yes.
something completely different. It's an alternate route for a lot of people.
And if they come back and say,
Not fit in.
well, and if they come back and say, well, it's not helping comic shops, we don't care. We're not trying to save the industry. We're not trying to save comic shops. You know, that's not anybody's agenda. I mean, I know people like I love comics.
Yeah, some people
they're very much, we need to save the industry by changing Marvel and DC. There's a lot of us that are like, well, we don't care anymore.
Yeah.
That's not important. You know, we still want comics. We still want entertainment. But if Marvel and DC and Image were to burn to the ground and stop publishing books, we would be thankful Comicsgate was there to help give us something new.
Yeah.
You know? I think that's a
because what they're doing is going away.
Yeah.
There'll still be some comic shops, but I don't know if Jacksonville could support one if it gets much worse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll have
everyone that I know of is turned into a gaming like Dungeons and Dragons type place.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rick says, "Who are you drawing?" It's just an idea for another new character.
I would like to let the stream know that I am light boxing, but I'm light boxing my own drawing, so I had to shrink it down.
You can light box anything, dude.
EVS went off on light boxing today, so but he was talking about downloading something.
He light boxes too.
No, he said absolutely does not. He was like,
no, he doesn't use the computer models.
Right. And he doesn't use like downloaded imagery.
Well, if he has to draw a 737, he will. 747 a plane. Yeah.
Because I super at him and I said, you know what? I'm having to draw a lot of motorcycles. Every now and then, should I light box? He's like, absolutely not.
Sometimes
what he's referring to is he's not saying take a photograph of a car and light box it. That's what he's saying you shouldn't do. But if you do a sketch of something that you drew and you put it on a light box and redid it to make it cleaner and nicer and more succinct, there's no problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah, but there's other people.
He didn't even seem like he was talking about that though.
Well, there are other artists out there who the idea of light boxing is how they get away with stealing imagery and so forth.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I hate it.
Greg Land is a good example.
Oh man,
somebody who uses a lot.
I use
porn images.
Yeah, I use all kinds of stuff for reference and compile it all together. Like, have you seen the way Tony Harris put some of his stuff together?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, but that's reference. Plus,
he redraws it all.
Well, he did the book Ex Machina, and he pretty much used live models for every character in that book, and he took photographs and he light boxed them, and it was a way. It did two things. It kept all the characters consistent because he used the same model for each character, and it made it quicker. It could produce the art quicker, and he was doing a monthly book. And Tony Harris is not a guy who can really do a monthly book.
But he can draw his ass off on his own.
Yes, he can.
There's a different.
Yeah.
Like illustrators, especially back when illustrators used to do movie posters, they were always used to like project and trace photographs of the actor's face.
Yeah, an artist that everybody references is Norman Rockwell, and he used to use the what is that thing that basically you pointed at an image and it projects.
A projector.
It's not like a projector. It's the
overhead projector.
Yeah, like
no, I know what he's talking about. I have one of them. We were gonna use it to put to do a mural on Mike's bedroom when he was younger, and we just never got around to it. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So it's the people that.
Yeah, but he was.
I agree with a lot of this, but Ethan was mainly talking about earlier, like the 3D programs.
Yeah,
and I use them for reference. Now, all the mistakes Zach talks about you can make by over-relying on those, he's telling the truth. You know how I know? I've made all those same exact mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Rick says, our agenda is to make, sell, and buy good comics with good stories, art without being told we are bad people for liking and thinking certain ways. Exactly. That's right. Well, see, here's the thing. You have every right to not like something, you know? You have every right to tell people, I don't like this, you know?
Oh, yeah, if you paid for a product and you're not happy.
Yeah.
You have the right to tell the producer, hey, this sucked.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just they're not used to not being able to shut people up and shut people down.
No.
On those forums years ago, they could get rid of anybody they didn't like. And they did.
All the time.
Oh, yeah. When Zach talks about those forums, I was lurking on some of the same ones.
Did you see the Quarterings video about the kid who had gotten copyright striked by somebody, and then the person reached out to him and said, hey, if you pay us money, we won't copyright strike you again. And they had done it 2 times to the person, and they're threatening, we're going to do it again and get your channel completely shut down if you don't pay us. And they have the emails, they have the images where they're actually saying you need to send us money. I'm like, holy crap!
That's pretty scummy.
Oh, it is. But that's a new tactic that they're using, where I don't want to say I don't think they know exactly where these people are at, but these are definitely like foreign people trying to take advantage of the system, you know. But see, I add sound effects to my drawings. Anybody else add sound effects to their drawings? No.
Todd McFarlane.
He does?
Oh yeah, he's known for it.
Oh, well, I was doing it way before he was.
I don't think that.
All right, does this guy look like an evil uncle?
Uncle Star.
Oh no, Todd. No, Avery. You got to actually look at it. Hey, Meow Cat, how's it going?
Hold on, buddy. Hold on, man.
All right.
Hold on. I'm trying to get this job done. Okay. Now, what was the question? I'm sorry.
Does this sketch of this character look like an evil uncle?
I don't know. Is he gonna sneak in your room at night and touch you?
I hope not.
He's gonna be like Luke Skywalker and sneak in and stick something long and hot in you, in your dark side.
What?
What?
This isn't a Star Wars channel, okay?
Oh.
Rick says, sort of.
It's Uncle Pink Eye. They got ointment for that.
Hey,
from what I understand. Yeah.
So, drawing in the corner is less a competition and more a, what would you say? Like, if you had to use a different word, what would you say?
It's a bunch of guys getting together and drawing.
Well,
and
I mean,
hopefully inspiring each other to draw something, you know?
Yeah, but it is a little more than just that. There's what you want is a little bit of a competitive, you know.
Well, that was the thing Avery and I were just talking about. I hadn't thought about putting a competitive aspect into it, but he thinks that's something that you have to have in order to get people interested. So
yeah,
you don't have to have it. Helps. It helps with audience engagement.
Yeah.
And I think if you ever get monetized and get like super chats, that you should offer like a, even if it's a small like reward or something, you know. I think that would blow you up actually. But I don't know why certain other shows don't do that.
Yeah.
You know.
Meowcat says it's not a new tactic. It's mostly a group of Chinese that do this. Really, they all hoping that you won't dispute it. It doesn't sound like that's a big a deal, but it hasn't happened to me yet. I mean, I've had some copyright claims made on actually I've had like 5 or 6 copyright claims on my videos, but it's all been based on the music. And I fought every one of them and won every single one of them. Actually, I got copyrighted claimed by Paramount Pictures for my review of the Quiet Place Steelbook case movie. And I'm like thinking to myself, I didn't show clips of the movie. All I did was show the case and talk about it. That's it. But they put a claim. Wow. They put a claim against my video, so I fought it and I won.
I'm starting to think they have like face recognition software that
most likely. Well, that was the thing with the music, is that they hit me with copyright claims against the music for my videos, but I use in my drawing videos. I use the YouTube approved, free to use, no attribution required music for my videos, and all I had to do was tell them the name of the composer, where I found it, what section I found it in, the name of the song, and so forth. And then after like 2 or 3 weeks, they let go of the claim. But that's why if you watch any of my drawing videos now, I usually have a little scroll thing at the bottom that says music by, entitled, whatsoever. It's because the first time I got hit with the claim, it took me almost an hour and a half to find the music I had used and match it up to the files, because I had downloaded a whole crap load of music clips from YouTube, and it took forever to find the right one. So now I put the title, I put the name of the song and who did it in every video. That way, if I get a copyright strike, I can just go right to it. And
yeah.
So would you say it's a 2-hour drawing free-for-all?
Free-for-all. It's organized free-for-all. I mean, there is subject matter. Everybody's trying to do something based on a certain topic or a certain subject.
What's another word? Because that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say free-for-all. I'm trying to say go at it. Buckle down. Like
Oh, I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say it's a
2-hour drawing.
Let's say 3 guys. Let's say 3 guys, me, you, and Avery, get together. And we decide we're all going to just draw something, and we come up with a topic. We start drawing, and that's it. There's nothing else to it. I mean, I'm trying not to make it difficult. I'm trying to make it so that anybody can join.
At the same time, if I'm gonna drop a super chat on it tonight, I want something spicy, Andrew. I want something spicy. Like,
don't do that.
Well, help me then, so I don't make a fool out of myself.
Just don't do it.
Oh, come on. Well, I'm doing it. So
all right. Well, you can say
2-hour draw-a-thon. No,
it's a drawn and quartered style drawing live stream.
But it's not if you don't have the competition part.
Well, we can add the competition part to it. There's nothing to it for that. That's not a big, huge leap, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't want to make that the focal point of the show, but we can do it. I mean, that's not a problem. What's today's date? The 29th or the 30th? 30th. Oh, goodness.
You guys got to remind me to share this out when you come in. I forgot.
All right. Well, see, okay, I got 3 characters here. You got the king, he's not exactly perfect. I got to work on him some more. His daughter, the lioness, and the uncle, the evil uncle. Any idea you can tell that this guy's evil? I mean, I'm pretty on the nose when it comes to. You have to remember this is a book for kids. So. Cross says a drawing jam time. Oh, there we go. And this person here. That's not her. Where's the tigress? The tigress. She's not the queen. She's like an emissary, very important emissary for the king. She and Lulu, which is Hero's oldest sister, are actually dear friends because of course, all women are friends, right?
Drawing jam,
yeah.
Like not as a name, but as a way to
describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, jam.
That was Cross Comics come up with that.
Jam in the holograms?
Evil needs a coming out of lip. Oh, a fang coming out of his lip. Yeah.
Does anybody have a horror themed one?
Not that I know of.
That's mine. I claim it. Mine. Mine.
It's a good idea too.
Actually, you know what I was thinking about for next week's suggestion?
What?
A monster of some type.
Yeah, well, tough.
Well, see, then you should join us.
No.
Avery, I could see you doing more of a
on something like this, I think doing recognizable stuff is better.
See, that's what I don't want to do. That I don't. That's the big thing that I don't want to do.
Well, that's fine, but that's what gets people is they're picking it. They're voting on what they're doing. They're voting and picking who wins.
We can have them decide. We could do a straw poll to decide what the subject matter for next week will be, but it's not going to be Batman and Superman and stuff like that. It's just not going to happen. That's not what
Then people they're not going to watch. That's what's going to happen.
Then that's fine. You know what? I'm not out there to please everybody. If you want to go to a show where all they do is sit around and draw Batman, go to Drawn and Quartered. You know? If you want to come and see
he's digging a hole and he doesn't even realize it.
No, I don't. I really don't care about that. That to me. Ooh, I was about ready to say something nasty. See, thank you, Avery.
That was that hole he was talking about.
Yeah, I was getting ready to jump right in.
Yeah,
I was getting ready to say really bad, nasty things about people who I actually admire and like their work. But no, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't imagine anybody, especially non-professionals, people that aren't in the business, that are just trying to get in there to come up with new ideas, for them to make a name for themselves, to create something that may become the next big thing by sitting here drawing Batman and Spider-Man all day long. You know, let's get a bunch of people together and inspire somebody to create something new. You know, that's what I want to do. And if after one episode it absolutely sucks and we won't ever do it again, but you know what? I want to give it a shot. So, and I bet you there's a lot of people out there that we know. I know Cross absolutely is one of them. Todd Mulroney from Ignition. These guys all have ideas. They all have their own stories, their own characters, their own, worlds that they're building or want to build. And this is an opportunity to let's add something new to that. Let's add something new to Hero. Let's add something new to Cross Comics. Let's add something new to Ignition.
No, you're.
Well, see, that was why I'm so glad you're not going to be there. Are you coming? Are you at least going to come by and ridicule? Because I need you to be there to ridicule.
No,
you could be the voice like Booster. Well, I'm more like
Avery. You could be my Edwin Boyette.
Yeah.
No, boring. I wouldn't do it. Not because I don't want to hang out and draw. It's because I wouldn't want to show a character that I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I think actually
no.
That's a good point. There's going to be a lot of
What does that matter, though?
People are not. Well, it matters a lot to a lot of people. They don't realize that it's. They don't want to create a character live on the air because obvious reasons.
Give me one obvious reason. I don't see an obvious reason. If you create it, it's yours.
No.
Yeah.
That's
how creation goes.
Okay. No. If you were not so close to launch, there would be a lot of people saying, "Why are you putting so much out there on Hero?" Because if you give an artist enough time, they could snatch anything like Hero, call it Victorious, and have a Fox character, and it'd be the exact same thing, and there would be nothing you could do about it.
The internet. They can't steal Hero. for multiple reasons, and one of the reasons is the first 2 books have already been fully copyrighted.
Yeah, and they
with
can't
the government,
steal Superman
everything.
either.
Well, they can't steal Superman, but you can create a Superman
derivative, yes,
character, yes,
and
you
carbon
absolutely-
copy it all day long. And therefore, you're not the first to do that because somebody's already ripped off your gig, your thing.
If I draw a picture of a guy who has a red, white, and blue uniform, he flies, can punch things, he's super strong, he has a red cape, and his name is Ultra Dude. Somebody else is not going to go out there and create a character that looks exactly like him and call him Ultra Dude. Not when you just created it, when you just put it out there in a live stream, and you have empirical evidence that you created this character, this name, and so forth. If what you're saying is you would never draw anything original on stream for the fear that somebody else is going to steal it.
I didn't say I agree with it. I'm just saying that's the drawback that most people.
I drew nearly, out of my 30 drawings in my sketchbook, probably 25 of them are brand new characters I just came with up on the spot. I'm not afraid of anybody stealing any of these. Why? Because I created them. They're my creations. I did it on stream in a video. Yeah. See, Rick backs me up. He says he'd create a character live on air. But I'm not saying that what you end up drawing is going to be the final version. It's just an idea. It's the start. You may draw a character and it may inspire you to do something else with it. It may inspire something better,
Booster's going to be on Drawn and Quartered tonight. That's funny. I forgot about that.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that too. That'll be interesting.
If I turn on Drawn and Quartered and he's not there, I don't know how I'm going to feel. I'm like, if they say,
I just don't show art until I'm ready to let someone see it.
No, I understand that. I understand that completely.
It's not about someone stealing it. It's just, no, you can't see it because it's not. I don't want you to see it.
Well, see, in my mind, this is all a process. It's the beginning process. It's the sit down, come up with an idea, throw it down on paper, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You go on to something else.
I know what I'm going to do. A villain that looks like a good guy. I'm going to draw Andrew.
You need some photo reference? I got some pictures. What? I can send you.
Oh, I have all the stills of you dancing.
Oh, okay. I almost added that to the end of the announcement video, but I decided not to. I thought that might be best not to do that. But I'm just saying, if the reason why you're unwilling to join a live stream because you may possibly create something new that you don't want somebody else to take, then I understand. That's fine. But the whole idea of doing it is to actually try to create something new. I mean, and if that's something you want to do in the dark, deep recesses of your own life and not share it with anybody, that's fine too. But I like the idea of creating from scratch something new and every day I'm coming up with new character ideas, new story ideas. Some of these characters that I've been designing here, I intend to put in book 3. Some of them are going to be in book 4. There's some that may not show up for till book 6 or 7. But these are ideas that I'm getting down. These are ideas for characters. These are ideas for storylines. I'm putting them down on paper and I'm starting the process.
Well, here's what people have said about both the fan edition and the pro edition: is it pushes you to draw something you either don't want to or wouldn't, even if you like the character, you might not draw just because bad. Yeah. It makes you better in that way.
But it's also safe too.
Yeah,
and safe in the fact that if I say, "Hey, let's everybody draw Spider-Man," you don't have to think about the design, the character, the backstory, all that stuff. You're just doing an illustration.
An illustration, right? Exactly.
I'm thinking more of creating and not just drawing. So.
But wouldn't a painter's painting be a creation, even though that character is their character? It's not really a character that maybe will go beyond that. That could be a thing too, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, God, I can't think of one right now. But the Mona Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that character is never anywhere else, but that's a character. That's an illustration. That's a drawing, a painting,
Portrait.
a portrait. Now, the theme is a hero that looks like a villain, or vice versa.
Right.
And you can draw a concept thing, it not be a full character, but still possibly win the thing. And I still think it should be a contest. I still think there should be a vote just to put some fun aspect in it. But I mean,
oh, okay. Here's another little twist. While we're drawing, I would hope that everybody would share maybe what their process is or what they're thinking. Like, instead of just doing a drawing, say, you know, I think this is a character who, and maybe even while you're drawing it, you're coming up with a story and you give us an idea of maybe some background and maybe some history, or and maybe even if you don't have a name.
You know what? I don't know if you guys catch here I'm gonna name drop, and I don't mean to do that, but if you guys catch Elliot Fernandez, he does that thing where he gets paid to help Critias with character design. And while Elliot's drawing, Critias is like throwing ideas out there. It's a real fun thing to watch because there's like the you can picture the gears turning, you know what I mean, in both your minds.
Right.
And Critias is real good about coming up with things on the spot and be like, well, what if she's this or what if she's that, you know, while he's watching Elliot draw the picture, you know? So yeah, I see that as a real good idea. It's like saying, hey, you know, what if I give this guy a this, and he got it from being, you know.
Did you see the stream that there was? I was pretty sure it's on Ethan's channel. Mike Miller was there and a couple other people were there. I think even Elliot was there, and they were talking about that new character that Ethan had come up with and Mike Miller was designing, and it was the Lynx character or whatever it is. You know, if you haven't seen that stream, it's really good because as Mike's drawing it, everybody's throwing out different ideas and he's changing things and he's redoing things, and other artists were taking a shot at it and drawing, and Ethan was like, no, that's not what I wanted it more like this, and then he would change it a little bit and just, yeah, I want it more like that. And it was the whole idea of creating something new. It was a collaborative effort, and
yeah, Mike does that too. Yeah,
that was fantastic.
He's done that with his stream too. That's fun.
Yeah, that's kind of what I imagined it would be like. Is, you know, a couple of artists getting together and creating something new, and you know,
what if one of the things is shout outs from the audience? Not this week. You already got this week's, but see, giving the kind of randomness of it, like I said, free flow, not free for all, but free flow. But
like a quick draw type of.
Well, no, just like
suggestions from the audience, and everybody just starts drawing.
Right, and at the end they get to vote for the best piece.
Right.
That, I mean, just as a topic for one time.
Yeah, that could be an aspect of it as well. So I mean, we're still trying to find what we're trying to do, you know?
Well, I'm saying as a topic for like a future show, just a one time to see how it does. Say, okay, the topic of today's show is audience participation. You know, you tell every couple minutes, we're going to take a suggestion from the audience, and then we have to go that direction in designing this character. Right. It puts it right into your avenue of what you're trying to accomplish of this fluctuation thing, and it also challenges you because the audience can come up with some crazy stuff.
Yeah, there are audiences out there that are good for that kind of stuff. But then again, I think if you're creating something new, like for example, if I started doing this drawing and we were just talking about it, and I started to tell you about what the character's supposed to be, what's his, you know, what the idea I have for them, and you might throw out a suggestion like, okay, well, obviously his chest is too big, you want it to be skinnier, you know, the hair needs to be more spiky, you know, the ears need to be folded back, you know, all these different suggestions that would come out at you when you're doing this type of like creation, you know, but I don't know. I just think that could be a positive thing to do, you know? And then again, it could crash and burn and everybody could go home unhappy and everybody starts their weekend all disappointed in me and upset with me. And, you know, hey, welcome to my life. he's laughing because he knows it's true. Avery, stop. So. So I have an idea in mind. I have no idea if it's going to work out, but I want to give it a shot. You know, we may completely change the whole, you know, the whole aspect of the drawing thing by the next week. If I have like 2 or 3 artists on, and at the end of it they go, you know, this really didn't do anything for me. I wasn't inspired. Nothing came of it. All I got was this really crappy drawing. You know, I mean, there wasn't enough focus on one thing than another. The idea is too vague. You know, then, you know, we try something else. But God dang it, guys, I want to try. I want to try to do something, you know? And I don't know. There was a time, I had a friend of mine who had a website that he was doing. He was doing game reviews. And he had asked me if I would contribute a web strip to it. So I created this really stupid, silly thing. And he and I were like the main 2 characters in it. And all of 99% of the jokes that was written into it was, you know, you had to be there kind of jokes. You had to know the people to get it. And it was inside jokes, right? But it was fun. We had a good time. And I actually joked with him one day and I said, wouldn't it be funny if this web strip that we're creating was what we became known for, what we became famous for? And he looked at it and said, no, that's not going to happen. And it never did. It never did. But the idea was, what if it did? What if that became, you know, the thing that lived on beyond us, you know? Mm-hmm. See, I'm hoping that when I'm dead and long gone, that my kids will continue producing hero stories. And my daughter's an artist, and she could probably knock the crap out of it and do a great job. Mike and I have sat down and talked about the ideas to the point where he has a really good idea where it's going and what's going to happen. So if I died tomorrow, I would hope that the 2 of them would continue to do it. They may not be able to do it right away because they both, you know, have full-time jobs and are busy, but it's something that they could, in the long run, continue on. And I to create something that continues on after you, in my mind, is the reason for creating something. You know, for it to be there for the future generations. I know that sounds silly, but no, the idea of,
that's what we all strive to do, is leave something behind.
Yeah. Well, there was a story idea that I helped Todd develop when he came up with an idea for a story, and he pitched it to me, and I said, okay, what if in the future, you know, the world's been decimated, atomic bombs, whatever, and somebody finds some object of the current time, and they think it's like a piece of God or something, and they worship it, and they build religions, and they build societies on it, and it turns out it's like a cereal box, you know, something that nobody.
An issue of Hero.
Yeah, well, see, that's the what if someday in the future somebody finds a copy of Hero and it inspires them, it makes them to become an artist, or it makes them want to tell stories, or it makes them want to create animation or live action movies, something. If it, you know, that's all I can hope for. You know, I'm not going to be rich, I'm not going to be famous, none of that's ever going to happen, but I want to create something that'll outlive me, that my kids can continue on into the future and tell more stories with, and it would live beyond me. You know, did Conan Arthur, the guy that created Sherlock Holmes, he had no idea that this character was going to become so popular that years and years and centuries after he's dead, people are still writing stories. They're making books and novels and movies and TV shows about this character. The character went so far beyond him and his creation, you know? Yeah. I would absolutely love for something that I made do that, you know? Mm-hmm. That's and guess what? Sitting down with a group of guys, group of gals, artists sitting down and just scribbling out ideas is how that shit starts. That's all I'm saying.
Ooh, you said a no.
I said no word. I am so sorry. I hope I didn't offend anybody. But that's what I'm talking about. That's how Spider-Man started. That's how Buck Rogers started. That's how Sherlock Holmes started. Somebody somewhere sat down and came up with an idea.
Hey, Avery, has Andrew always been the guy that kind of looked for the road less traveled amongst you friends? That's what he seems. He seems like the guy that, like, on this, he took the venture on the YouTube. He took the venture on the hero avenue, and it's kind of like he's wanting to take his peoples with him. Has he always been like that?
No, he's a.
Was this whole thing your idea, Avery?
No, actually, Andrew's always been the one that was too afraid to even show his portfolio.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes, I was. I always.
Oh yeah. While I was like showing my portfolio at cons and like trying to get work, and eventually I did get work. He wouldn't do it. He would watch.
Wait, didn't you do a heavy metal?
I've done a couple of issues of heavy metal. I've done some stuff.
Yeah.
I've done some stuff at Image. I've been doing stuff for role-playing games for over 10, 12 years, something like that.
Yeah.
I have shown.
Just watched me take beating after beating after beating, and he just stood there going, "Nope, not me."
Right.
I have shown a total of one artist my portfolio and my work, and it was right out of high school. It was that long ago, and the person, and I've told this story before, it was Rick Leonardi, gave us some really great. He didn't bash us. He should have. He didn't bash us. He was very nice. He was very gentle. He was very honest, and we all appreciated it. But it was after I sent in my submissions to Marvel and DC, and I got one rejection letter back. I said, "That's it. I'm done. I'm just going to create my own thing." And I've never wanted to work for Marvel or DC
as much as I've read the Todd McFarlane story and the Stephen King story of having buckets of rejection letters before they finally got accepted.
I wonder where mine are.
Huh?
Sorry, continue. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Oh, I just said I was thinking out loud. I was like, I wonder where my rejection letters are.
Yeah, that would be cool to see, actually.
I used to one time they called me to reject me.
Oh wow, you got a telephone call?
You got a call? That's actually
It's from when Darren Ock was the submission editor at Marvel.
Did he say stop sending me stuff? Or?
No, he told me to keep sending him stuff, and he would send me back my submissions with little notes on them and stuff when I was doing those inking submissions.
That means you were pretty close to getting on board. Probably a lucky thing you didn't.
Then Darren Ock wasn't the art director anymore.
Oh, that's what happened.
Wasn't that CB's position for a while?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll be right back, guys.
All right.
But yeah, no, he's absolutely right. I've always been the one. I'm the one who went to a small convention in Daytona, had copies of Hero Book 1 and 2, went up, saw Ethan Van Sciver. This is right as he was doing his YouTube channel and so forth. And I walked away. If I had given him.
Now, I'm going to use my one cuss word for this show. You're an asshole for that.
I know. And trust me, Avery wanted to kill me because Avery went and talked to him, and channels and everything, and I couldn't do it. That's
where you and I differ, boy. Yeah. You couldn't shut me up. And if it was if it was Ethan or John or especially Elliot, yeah, I might be a little nervous to meet Elliot because I wouldn't want him to hate me. He seems like a kind of a low-key guy. He's very, I'm kind of boisterous and talkative and talk your ear off. So
nope, but I had the opportunity and putting Hero in his hands.
So what you needed was a wingman to break the ice because I know you can talk to people.
Yeah. Well, no, Avery was there with me, but we were manning a table, and I made a little bit of money. He didn't make any money at all, really. I think he made $3. But we were there just having a good time and talking. And
plus, how much did you know about Ethan other than did you know as much as you know now?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
Oh, I knew who he was. I knew about his YouTube channel. All that stuff was going on. Comicsgate was in full swing and stuff like that. And
This wasn't that long ago.
no, this was last year. This is last year. But I was walking into the bathroom as he was walking out, and I of course recognized him, and that was it. That is his,
that's a good thing you didn't walk up to him then. Then you just see that guy that walked up to him in the bathroom.
That's as close as I got to. Well, he had said, what was really funny is he had said in one of his live streams that he doesn't like to take things. He doesn't like people giving him stuff at shows like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, so that kind of set me back a little bit. And it was like a few days later on one of his videos, he said, hey, one of these people came up to me and showed me their stuff, and I have it here and it looks good. And he gave it a nice little quick review and said stuff. That was the guy who was actually set up next to us at that show in the room that we were set up in. And I'm like kicking myself. I should have, because Hero would probably have been fantastic for his daughter. I mean, it may be a little bit too old for her at that moment because, but it's something that she might have liked in the future. I mean, my whole everything would have been different had I just had the guts to stand up and say, hey, check this out. So
help me with his name in the chat.
What's that?
Help me with his name in the chat. It's
Chexmano.
Chexmano.
Ah.
Not much, Chexmano.
What's happening? Not much at all. We're just chit-chatting about the times I was really stupid and
Avery just got the tail end of that. It's just like, well, so Avery, why didn't you make him go up to Ethan last year?
I gave up on Andrew. On trying to motivate Andrew to do things years ago.
I think if I remember,
I stopped.
If I remember correctly, I told you I was going to. So you had thought I had done it. It wasn't until we were leaving that you said, did you go and talk to Ethan? And I told you no, and you wanted to cream the shit out of me.
Okay.
No, because I told you because I knew he was going to be there. This was an opportunity to meet him, and I just didn't do it.
Talked to him and had a little conversation about YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
The YouTube channel was very new at that time.
Yeah.
He hadn't joined Comicsgate yet.
Oh, I thought maybe we had.
No, he hadn't. He was still at DC. He hadn't joined.
Oh, really?
He hadn't joined Comicsgate yet. His channel was new. A lot of pros were still everything was very. Zach was like, unfollow me, don't follow me publicly, and a lot of artists. Well, we did that. We didn't publicly follow him.
No,
I wish I had have.
I didn't know that. Me being a newer guy, I didn't know y'all had to go through all that.
There was a whole long period of in lots of videos. If you work, Zach would be like, if you work in comics at all, do not publicly follow me. He's like, unfollow me now.
Wow, that's a cool guy to be like. See, I told you guys I don't know much about Zach, but that's a cool guy to be like, you know what? My ship is sinking. They're sinking it. Here's the life raft. Go.
Yeah, he's like, unfollow me publicly. He's like,
yeah,
they are going through all my followers. They are going through to see who follows me, to unperson them. And they were, and they did.
Yeah.
They've gone after a lot of creators. Like, you follow diversity in comics.
No, they told you that you need to explain why.
Yeah. And
it was
publicly denounce them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they did it for a while. So, like, when I first started following everything, it wasn't even called Comicsgate.
Yeah.
When we first started following, I used a different account. I didn't have this account. I used a different one that didn't have my name on it. Then eventually I just reached a point where I don't care.
Yeah. It's a good point to be, actually.
I'm like, I don't give a damn anymore.
Yeah.
And so I just started following people openly.
Regal, are you helping me with this drawing? I don't think she's impressed. Regal, babe, is this not impressive to you at all?
Okay, I'm going to close this out for a bit and find something else to doodle at. sick looking at it. My arm is killing me.
Wow,
That's how I feel about my book, especially as much perspective as I'm trying to.
All right, well, here, guys, we'll introduce you all to Regal. Say, hey, Regal. So you might. This is the pretty princess, the super. Wait a minute. What is it? What is her name online?
I don't know, dude.
The super cute princess kitten Regal.
I'm gonna really enjoy getting done with this job so I can get back to work more on Hero and drawing and painting stuff I want to.
Yeah, I understand that. So how much more work do you have to do? How many more hours worth of work?
I don't know. Maybe a couple. But right now, I brought up that Lobo. I don't want to work on that either. That was just something I did on stream one time for fun.
Hey, Regal. Rick says hi. How you doing, babe? You know, if you guys have pets, you know how you don't actually claim the pets claim you.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it is. Pets claim you. This kitten, she hasn't claimed her person yet. You know, she hangs with me, as you can see. She hangs with my wife. She hangs with my son. She's in my daughter's room every now and then. So I mean, she hasn't claimed her person. Like Charlie is my dog. I will never be able to get rid of him. He's mine. He claims it.
He's your Doge.
He's my Doge, and he loves me.
I've had cats that kind of bounce back and forth and never really choose one person. But for the most part, you're right. They attach themselves to their person.
Yep. And she hasn't picked her person yet. She's jumping back and forth. Actually, I joked that Charlie claimed her as his cat. So,
and now that's happened to me too. The cat is the dog's cat.
Yeah, well, she's definitely not my cat. I don't claim her at all. She's cute, but she's a pain in the butt. My wife told me today that she saw her almost jump up onto the kitchen counter, and I'm like, cry me, because all the other cats in the house, they can get up on the kitchen counter. We got two of them that their two favorite places are on the top of the hutch cabinets, which are next to our bed. So I can wake up in the morning and look up, and I've got a cat looking down on top of me, and it's not always a great thing because sometimes they jump.
Cats always look down on you. They're snobs.
Yes, they are. They are snobs. But I was trying to think of oh, you know what? Actually, I do have something else I could show you. Check this out, Avery. I bought a new steelbook case. Reign of the Supermen, the new DC Universe movie.
Man.
Yes. I stopped downloading things.
I didn't like Death, the new version of the Death of Superman. I thought
it was so much better than Doomsday, though.
See, I couldn't stand it. I couldn't even get into it. I thought I liked the old Doomsday, so
the movie Doomsday, right?
Yeah. The old animated version.
Yeah,
I liked it.
The whole reason why they redid it is they redid it in the 52 universe. You know, that was the difference. It was the classic story in the 52. Now this is a continuation of that one, but this storyline.
Nope. Normally I'm not. Nope. Normally I'm not. Nope. I am looking forward to this movie, Andrew. Please.
I'm not spoiling any of it. But this storyline, I don't believe, was ever told in the New 52 universe.
Yeah.
This is the classic Superman story, but they're making it a follow-up to the 52 universe's Death of Superman. So.
I know I'm sitting here giggling because I know that if this was Avery right now, I would have to take off my headphones because
I would spoil it. Yeah.
Well, I haven't even, you can tell by looking at it. I haven't even taken it out of the plastic yet.
I'm such a troll. I'd be like, "Oh, really? You want to?" So there's a bunch. There's unplug your headphones. There's a bunch of new Supermans.
No! Spoiler!
And it's set in the New 52 type of universe.
Wow.
Well, I was around when this storyline first came out. Matter of fact, I was working at the comic book store when Death of Superman happened. And so I was there for these storylines. And to be honest with you, Superboy was probably the best of all of them, but that was also Tom Grummett art, which was fantastic back in those days, early 90s.
I think I still have a bagged copy of The Death of Superman.
Well, it's not worth anything.
I know, but I know I didn't open one.
Yeah.
Jack's got one.
Oh
wait, no, he's saying that to something. My chat is just catching up. D's here.
What
hey,
up?
D, how's it going, man? Rick says he's got the comics, so yeah.
Yep. I went ahead and bought an omnibus of it all. So. Yeah,
but I worked at the comic book store. Actually, my store, the owner, who was a real dipshit, when we got the comics in the night before the Death of Superman issue was supposed to be released, we had a certain stack of non-in-the-pull books. And he said to us, listen, I don't want to spend the entire day dealing with people asking about this book and taking it. So what we're going to do, first come, first serve, as many copies as they want. Mm-hmm. And me and the other guy that worked there were like, are you sure you want to do that? There's going to be a lot of people coming in later in the day that's going to be really disappointed we didn't have any left over. And he said, nope, I just want them out of the store. And at the time, the store was set up right next to a beauty salon. And the first 10 people that came into the store that morning were ladies that worked at the beauty salon, had heard it on the news. And of course, they're going to sell them for thousands and thousands of dollars later. So they were the first ones in the door, and they were the first ones to buy them. We sold out of all the copies we had in like the first 10 minutes of being open. It was like, well, we had one guy who his pull was he would take comics and he would go to the flea market and he would sell them at the flea market. So he wanted like 25 copies of it.
Uh-huh.
And when I told the boss, hey, we're putting 25 in this guy's, he said, no, give him one copy. And I'm like, are you sure? He said, yes. I'm like, damn. Mm-hmm. So when he came in to pick up his pull and we're like, I'm sorry, he was thoroughly pissed off because back then he could resell it for $10-15 at the flea market that same weekend, and the boss said no, give him one copy.
Which comic book store did you work at?
It was a comic book store called Final Frontier. It's long gone,
but it was right next to where Borderlands used to be.
Yeah, well, further down. Yeah.
It was in that same shopping center, like
what street?
Over. Beach. No, Atlanta.
Oh yeah, that's the side of town that I wouldn't have comic shop hopped much.
Where did you go?
I would have been all on the west side. I remember Book Bin, like we talked about.
Yeah.
I remember our major one right up until Dad died was Suncoast Comics.
Thigh?
Thigh, yeah, yep. Thigh.
Yeah, yep. I used to shop there.
Yep, dude, I almost cried when he sold his store, and he sold it to a guy who really made it look awesome. And then,
it's the kid that used to sweep the floor when he was a kid.
Well, no, that was his. That was Bill's son. Bill owned it, and Bill's an old guy like my dad. But Bill bought it, and he hired his kid, so that's probably who you're thinking about.
Yeah,
and it looked just like my dad's comic book rooms. I mean, they painted the walls blue. It looked just beautiful for a couple. My depression over Thigh selling it quickly diminished when it looked just amazing. And then he couldn't make any money, and he moved over there on Roosevelt.
Mm-hmm.
They moved Suncoast to Roosevelt, and now he sold it, and it became a D&D gaming store. It's called your friendly neighborhood gaming store.
Yeah. Now. D says, who doesn't have a bagged copy of Death of Superman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
I think you can still find them bagged in like the dollar bins.
Yeah. Chexmano says younger ones who weren't born when it was released. Actually, it was Superman number 75, and it was released back in January of. It says January '93, but it might have been earlier than that. Yeah. That may have been the date on the book. But
dude, I used to have so many X-Men number 1s that I used to wrap gifts in them. I would tape them together and make them wrapping paper. It's a true story too. It was cool. It was one cool way to finally use it.
Oh yeah, I think I bought 2 or 3 copies of each cover.
Yeah. Chaxmano says, "What are those? They're pretty." He's talking about your stuff. I highlighted you. I white boxed you, Avery.
Oh, some of my sketches, drawings.
And then Cross says, "I don't have a bagged copy. I started getting superheroes on a regular basis with Funeral for a Friend." Yep. Oh, I remember that. There was one issue. There was one issue of Justice League that was in super high demand because nobody knew it was part of the Funeral for a Friend crossover, and it was like nobody ordered it very heavily, so it was one of the harder ones to find.
You know, they blame the Return of Superman for single-handedly crushing a lot of the shops.
Well, that is back in a time when you had 2 things that were a major influence on stores: gimmicks and speculators. Those 2 things is what killed a lot of stores back then.
Yeah, when the speculation popped, it put a lot of stores went away.
Yeah,
there used to be 20 stores here in Jack's because every baseball card shop and gaming store started selling comics too.
Mm-hmm.
And the real market was probably more like 5 or 10 stores. So when the speculation market popped, those stores went down fast.
Yeah. Well, the store that I worked at, when I got a full time, I was working 2 jobs. I was working there part time, and then I was working at what eventually became Citibank part time. And when Citibank said, "Hey, you want to go full time?" I said, "Absolutely." And then I pretty much walked out on my boss. Actually, there's a whole story there. I'll have to tell you guys that story. But I had the extreme pleasure. A lot of people out there don't have this opportunity. But I had the extreme pleasure of quitting a job, walking out, getting rehired by the same guy, and then walking out a second time.
Wait, what?
Yes.
The
and
same day or later?
Huh?
Is it all in the same day?
No, not in the same day. This is a little time later. But not only did I walk out on him the first time, I made sure he knew I thought he was an asshole. And then not only did he rehire me, I got to walk out on him again a second time when he decided he was going to close the store and sell the store. And I just didn't start. I just stopped showing up, and it's like whatever.
Yeah.
That's a long. It's not a long story, but I'll tell it to you guys next time. Remind me on Monday. Oh, wait a minute, Avery.
What?
Don't you have a book that you were going to read to us?
No.
Or are you waiting to set up your camera for it?
Story time with Avery.
And I'm going to do some stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Avery found...
I'm going to do it on my channel.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to do some stuff to the book first.
Oh, you're going to do stuff to it?
Yes.
Do you want to tell people what it is, or do you want me to tell them, or do you want me to keep it secret?
No. We're saving it. We're saving the story time, which is going to be a roast of Andrew.
Yep. Needless to say, Avery is going to have a very good time at my expense.
Yes.
And it's going to be fantastic.
Yes.
And the funny part is he completely missed it, and I'm the one that handed it to him and said, "Hey, check this out." And he's like, "Oh my God, I'm making this into a video."
It's like you handed me
gold.
The weapon of your own destruction. And it's like, oh. No, it's all in good fun.
Oh, yeah. Well, I may have to go get a copy for myself,
Yeah, I'm gonna have some fun with that book and do some stuff to it first. So it's gonna be a very transformative work.
Oh, okay. I
can't get a copyright strike.
Dude, nobody is gonna copyright strike you for that book.
You never know.
It's a what was it? A $2.99 book that we found at Ollie's.
Oh yeah, like $1. It was like $1.80.
Yeah, it's not something anybody's gonna care about,
but anyway.
Yeah, it'll be fun. All right, guys. Well, I thank you again so much for joining us for the show. I know it started out a little slow at the beginning, but we definitely picked up eventually. Yeah, like about 2 minutes before we ended it. And I mean, that is the way we roll, motherfucker. You know, that's how it goes.
Motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Mother.
Could you stop? You're not helping.
Big motherfucker.
Rick at Cross Comics, thanks for coming by. D, so much. It's so great to have you when you're able to join. Chaxmano, thanks a lot for coming in. Kodiak for joining the chat. And who else did we have? I know we had somebody else. Oh yeah, Meow Cat was there at the beginning.
Hey,
thank you guys.
Maybe we should do an auction night on your show to see if anybody wants to buy stuff.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do it during one of the live streams.
Yeah, do it with some of your stuff, some of my stuff. Maybe get some other people on here, see if they want to do it. Because I don't have the audience on my channel yet to do it.
Well, I have a small audience too, but you never know. People are I don't know. For some inexplicable reason, people are impressed with your art. I don't know why.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I
could go to the bathroom with a piece of paper and come out with a better pice of art than Avery does. But
I know.
But I don't think I can get anybody to buy it. Not just yet.
Me neither. That's the reason I just stopped selling on eBay. I was just like, okay, I'm sick of this.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot for joining us. And join us again Friday, 7:30 Eastern time. You want to come early. You want to be here. You want to be ready to go because we are going to do some drawing. I'm going to send out invites to a bunch of different people. We'll see who shows up. And I'm fairly certain a couple people will show up, not just to draw, but to make sure they make a lot of good fun of me. And that's okay because that's what we like.
I'm not coming, dude. Don't even bother.
You're going to come. You're going to come.
Friday, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. 2-hour drawing jam.
Well, actually, we're going to try to keep it to an hour and a half. So I don't know if you want to go 2 hours.
2 hours. I got to talk to this dude for 2 hours?
2 hours is a very long time.
You just admitted you're coming. See?
On that note, we're out of here. We'll see you guys Friday. Take it easy. Thanks for coming by, and catch you next time.